Mastering modal verbs. A deep dive into their use and misuse. Hello language learners. Welcome to another exciting lesson where we explore the fascinating world of English grammar. Today, we're going to tackle a vital element of English communication, the modal verbs. More specifically, we're going to contrast and compare different modal verb examples, pinpointing common mistakes and confusion that often occur. So, buckle up and let's get started. Before we dive into specific examples, let's refresh our memory on what modal verbs are. Modal verbs are a type of auxiliary verb used to indicate modality. That is, likelihood, ability, permission, and obligation. The most common modal verbs in English include can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, and ought to. Now, let's delve into the crux of this video, comparing and contrasting modal verbs. It's important to note that modal verbs often express similar meanings, but with subtle differences. For instance, can and could both talk about ability, but could usually refers to a past ability or a more polite request. Similarly, will and would can express future actions or intentions, but would often implies a conditional or hypothetical situation. This section focuses on some of the common mistakes that English learners make with modal verbs. A typical example is the confusion between must and have to. Must often implies a personal obligation, while have to suggests an external obligation. Another common mistake is using can instead of may when asking for permission, although can is becoming more acceptable in informal situations. The best way to master modal verbs is through practice. Let's look at some examples. 1. I can play the piano. Ability. 2. You must submit your assignment by Friday. Obligation. 3. May I use your pen? Permission. 4. It might rain later. Possibility. Next, we will take some sentences and correct the misuse of modal verbs. Incorrect. I must go to the dentist tomorrow because my mom said so. Correct. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow because my mom said so. Incorrect. She will have been to Paris if she had the money. Correct. She would have been to Paris if she had the money. Remember, practice is the key. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into modal verbs. Remember, understanding modal verbs is crucial for expressing yourself accurately in English. We hope you found this video informative and engaging. Keep practicing, and soon, the correct use of modal verbs will become second nature. Until next time, happy learning!